Hey everyone, this is a trader investor coming to you for a market analysis for this coming trading week. So let's look at the markets and identify opportunities where we can potentially enter some option trades, some stock trades, future trades, whichever type of trade that you're interested in. This will help you kind of analyze what the market is doing. So as always, I start with save, my structure, area of value, and the execute, where I want to place entries and exits. So this is key because this is the anchor to all of my analysis. And what this does is it will help me identify opportunities uh, in relation to the structure, in relation to area of value. This is what we're going to use to place those entries. So let's take a look at the charts and dive right in. So as we start with the spiders, looking at the monthly is in an uptrend. Everything is intact. Nothing has broken. Looking at the weekly, do we see any possible areas of weakness? That's what I want to look for. That's why I check the weekly, but it's very much in alignment with the monthly. And then coming down to the daily, then there's some areas of support and resistance that I have drawn here. Because we're above them, they're acting as support, right? So that's where the price has bounced off on Friday. It came right down to this area of support and bounced off. There's another area of support down below and a possible resistance up in the 398 area. But we shall yet see what the market does before we get there. So what I want to see is we made a higher high. We're in new higher territory. It appears we're making a higher low. As long as Monday doesn't open below this, then we can confirm this low as our new higher low from March 4th. But that is yet to see. So what I want to do and position myself and get ready to take action, if the market gives me an entry above the 391 area, we will pinpoint that on the hourly chart. I want to go long. If it doesn't do that, then on my short side, I don't want to enter yet. I don't have an entry yet. So what I'm expecting is if price continues to break down and it breaks this area here, and then I wanted to test this area so I can enter here. So basically what I want to do is when price breaks this area, that's when I want to enter it, right? So that's what I want to do. If it doesn't break that area, then there's no entry for me. So I just want to make sure it breaks this area. If this happens, I'm entering here, I'm entering a put position. But keep in mind, we have the monthly trend line. So if this breaks around the monthly trend line, uh, I might not put in any big bets here. I might even completely skip it because we're coming up on the monthly trend line. Until this is broken, I'm assuming it's going to just touch it and reverse. It's just a pullback. So if these pullbacks are shorter in distance, then we can consider that. So that's what I'm looking at on the spider. So if we look at the hourly for a pinpoint, as I said in the 398 area, if price gives me an entry, either here as a break of a trend line, which, this trend line doesn't exist. I'm just hypothetically drawing it. But if it breaks above the 391 and it gets into this space here, I might feel comfortable entering. I might not even wait until the 398 on the daily. That's why on the daily, the 398 area is quite high, but the hourly might give us a better entry opportunity if we break the 391 area. So I might even place an alert here. And if it gets there, I'm going to get an alert so I don't have to monitor this on a daily basis. or on an hourly basis. I would definitely monitor it on a daily basis, but not on an hourly basis as long as I have my alert. So if we go to the cues and we start with our monthly again, this is a broken trend. Our monthly, for me, this is a broken trend on the monthly. However, this could be a sideways movement for a while. It could be some sort of a consolidation area, and I could assume that this is a consolidation area. So price could stay in here for a while and bounce around and then break to one side or another. So even though my trend line is broken and this trend line is kind of a tight trend line, even though it's broken, I'm not in a hurry to enter on a short side, on a put side yet. Of course, if price does this, just like with the SPYs, if price does this, then I'm definitely, entering here at the break of this. I'm definitely doing that. That's something that I will consider. But for now, it looks like the cues, they're the weakest of the bunch. They're trading in the range. So I'm not in a hurry to go on the long side. So I don't even want to entertain anything on the long side yet. Because when I look at the daily is really a clear sign that we are making lower lows. I'm sorry, lower highs. We've made two lows, and I want to see what this low does. Will the 297 area be broken, or will this support line hold and price reverses? It's possible. It's possible that price will continue to do this. If price continues to do that, I'm more comfortable entering at the break of this. This is where you see my alert here. This is my alert. So I'm comfortable waiting for that to take place on the cues. So on IWM, Russell 2000, this is a strong trending market. Let's start with our monthly. Monthly is in very, very strong uptrend. Weekly, really nothing that shows any weakness. We've had a pullback on Friday, but that's expected. Nothing goes up straight week by week. So this 1 week being a short pullback week, nothing to be concerned with. It's a healthy part of the market system. So when I look at the daily, we're making higher highs and we're potentially making higher lows. Now again here, I want to make sure that this is supported, that price doesn't penetrate this. And after that, I want to see it go up from here. For me, that's the best entry, best risk reward entry. If we enter at this highs, my stop, the safest stop is down at this trend line. So that's a lot of distance. But if price gives me an opportunity and it comes down here and reverses, my stop is right below here. And I'm very comfortable with that. I'm very, very comfortable with that. And also, as we're analyzing this, let's keep in mind of what the sentiments are telling us. If we look at the VVIX, it's yellow for me. It's 115. It's above 110. It hasn't crossed 120, which is the more danger area. But at the same time, the put call ratio is above 0.8. When one of these turn red, they don't both have to turn red, but one of these turn red and the other one is yellow, definitely a big sign of weakness coming up. So a lot of fear in the market. So I just want to make sure that I'm watching at this as well when I'm analyzing my market. As price comes down, what is it doing in terms of the VIX, the volatility? What is the fear of the market telling me as price comes down? So I'm definitely going to take a look at that as I prepare to place my trades. So looking at the diamonds, on the monthly basis, very strong uptrend. Weekly, same story, very strong uptrend. It's actually broken up above the upper side of the channel. So on the daily, what I'm expecting is just like I said last week, I'm expecting price to come down to the upper channel and reverse. So this is beautiful, beautiful setup for me. This is beautiful. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the daily. This is probably one potential area. Looking at the hourly, this is probably one potential area for an entry on Monday. Could trigger on Monday. Now you can see here the futures are, somewhat flat. Not that big of a movement. Even the YM, which is the Dow, is down 46. I'm not too concerned for overnight activity. So we could potentially break this hourly trend line Monday morning. And if that happens, and I already have an alert for it, if that happens, I'm definitely entering a long position. And my target is in this area. This is my initial target, right? Somewhere from the 328 to the 332 area. With options, that's a very good movement. And so that's my target area for the Dows. The Dow 30s diamonds. Definitely something that I'm going to look at very closely on Monday because it has a potential of giving me a signal. So, this is how I'm looking at the overall market. But I want to show you something that happened Friday. Last week, I showed you how I use TradingView Stock Screener, and these were some of the tickers that popped up. And NJR actually gave me a good buying opportunity on a daily basis. I was expecting price to come down, tested these support area and reversed. So it reversed it in 2 days. So on Friday, right about at the halfway mark of this one big bear bar, right, this down day, I had a trigger set to go long. I was very happy with this setup. The volume was strong. Everything was in the right direction, but I did not take this trade. And I want to show you why I skipped this trade. Very important that you do this. Extremely important that you do this. Because I'm doing options, the average volume for the stock itself is around 600,000. So not a bad thing. It's acceptable. It's manageable. But the open interest for right at the money option was 80. Even if I wanted to go a little bit in the money, the open interest is 44. And there was no volume on Friday. So I was not happy with entering a trade with this kind of open interest and volume. If this was above 100 and volume was above 50, I'd be okay to enter a trade. And then in addition to the weak volume side, look at the spread of the bid and ask. Right? So for me to get out of a position, it's a lot of movement here, right? So I'm going to lose $70 per contract just if I, enter and exit the same minute. So again, that is not something I want to do. Now let's contrast that with the spiders. This is why I like playing the ETFs a lot for options and looking at the same expiration, the May 21, 2021 expiration. Look at the bid and ask, 8 cents, right? And sometimes it even gets tighter than this. And then look at the open interest. Now that is something I can trade. Open interest, volume, both of them high, right? It doesn't matter if the bid ask is tight. This is more important, but both of them were fantastic. So this is why I skipped that trade. So keep that in mind. That's critical that you keep that in mind as you're placing your trades, as you're viewing your opportunities. So my screener will give me, like right now I run the screener, it gave me 69. So I'm going to do additional analysis. And as I do that, 69 is too much for me to go through. I don't want to go through 69. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take at the monthly performance and only look at those that have done 7% or better on a monthly basis. Now that cuts it down to 9. This is something I can do. And I can just select all, and then I'll add them to my watch list. And so they're immediately added here. And I know HJR, I don't want to trade it because it's thinly traded on an option basis. So I'm going to take that out, and then I'll just go through some of these down the road. And so, FSR, for example, it's displayed for me right here. So FSR on a daily basis, it is making a good trend line for a pullback entry. Friday was a good signal, but again, Friday it opened higher and closed lower. So I'm not comfortable doing this on a Friday, but the volume was low, so I'm not unhappy either. So that's why I have this alert. If Monday morning we open here, I'm entering this trade, assuming we have the volume for open interest and for the option. So that's one thing I want to make sure. And FSR usually has the volume, so I'm less concerned. Some of the tickers that I'm not familiar with, here I'm seeing this analysis, and I'm gonna go real quick, just 1 minute. So it's in an uptrend. It's on a recent uptrend with a potential evening star on a monthly chart. If if this stays around here, and then in April, we have one of these in April, then this is definitely an evening star, something to look at on the downside. But that's, it's neither here nor there at this moment, because that's not where we are. So what we want to take a look at is on the weekly, we see a weekly pullback. On the daily, we see a nice pullback. This is something that I could get behind. Definitely, definitely, I could see myself entering this position when we break this trend line. So that's where I would come down to the hourly and confirm a break of this trend line. Or if we make, a new higher high and higher low, definitely something to enter. So just to give you additional ideas, in addition to just the index analysis, how I go about, on my screen, trying to find opportunities for Monday morning. This is something I'll just keep doing for the rest of this evening to position myself for entries when the market opens. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you soon.